Hello and thanks for joining us. This is Nigeria Today on TVC News. President Muhammadu Buhari will meet with security chiefs in the country on Tuesday to get updates on the security situation and also develop another proactive approach in addressing the issue. The president's decision is a response to matters arising at the Council of State meeting held at the presidential villa and attended by all living former heads of state, state governors and other members of council. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
According to data released by Nigeria Security Tracker, more than 2,000 people were killed, while 1,484 were abducted in Nigeria from January to March this year. This frightening data sums up the concerns of the Nigeria Council of State. President Muhammadu Buhari will now call for a security meeting on Tuesday to address issues of insecurity raised by council, especially food security.
The President was more concerned also on the food security and the need for a secured country where farmers will go back to land and continue to produce.
The planned head count was also presented to council, a crucial exercise that will help the country plan for growth and development. The United Nations Population Fund recommends that census should be conducted at least once in 10 years. But Nigeria is about 6 years behind schedule after failing to conduct a head count in 2016. The National Population Commission now says it will conduct a housing and population census after next year's general election.
There is no need for people to move to be counted in their either local government or their hometowns. Stay where you are and earn your living and be counted there.
The Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy submitted its report to Council and got approval for 159 people to be granted pardon. Last year, President Muhammadu Buhari promised the leaders and people of Ogoniland that he will consider clemency for environmental rights activist Ken Saro-Wiwa. However, the identity of the beneficiaries of Mr. President's Prerogative of Mercy is still unknown.
The Council considered the report and the submission, and at the end of the day, supported and advised the President to grant pardon, mercy, clemency, respite, remittances, and concessions to about 159 people.
It was also disclosed at the end of the Council of State meeting that 434 Nigerians will be added to the federal government's roll call of honor. It was a well-attended National Council of State meeting, an indication that all hands are on deck in the interest of the country. But the issue of insecurity continues to stick out like a sore thumb. Now all eyes are on Mr. President's next meeting with the service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police as the country desperately desires an end to the killings, kidnappings, and other forms of violent crimes. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
It is now 8 years since hundreds of schoolgirls were abducted from the remote village of Chibok in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. On the night of 14th April 2014, Boko Haram militants invaded the government girls' college Chibok and kidnapped 276 girls, mostly aged between 16 and 18. Concerned citizens and civil society organizations are still appealing to relevant authorities to ensure the rescue of the remaining girls from their captors. Jesse Tafida reports.
14th April 2014 remains an indelible date in the nation's history. It is the day more than 270 girls were abducted from Government Secondary School Chibok, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. 57 of the schoolgirls were said to have escaped almost immediately after the incident. The terror group Boko Haram claimed responsibility for the abduction in a video released by their then leader, Abubakar Shekau, on May 5, 2014. Who are we? Early negotiation brought a spark of hope. The 200 remaining girls will be released quickly, but this was quickly dashed.
This unconscionable act was committed by a terrorist group determined to keep these girls from getting an education. And I want you to know that Barack has directed our government to do everything possible to support the Nigerian government's efforts to find these girls and bring them home.
All negotiation came to a standstill until 13th October 2016, when 21 out of the girls were released. The successful negotiations between the federal government and the militant group renewed hope that more of the girls will soon come out from captivity. Demands for the release of the remaining girls have been relentless since then, with little results.
They should sit down and strategize what is happening, that this particular thing is not coming to an end. And not only the Chibok girls, there are so many girls who are in captivity.
The Ministry of Defense working on safe school declaration to ensure protection of children in school are well protected.
So I want to use this opportunity to call on the government and relevant agencies to wake up to their own responsibilities to ensure that people's lives and property are protected.
The abduction of the Chibok schoolgirls remain fresh in the minds of Nigerians. Several other abductions have followed, like the 110 schoolgirls from Government Science and Technical College Dapchi in Yobe State. Concerned citizens are of the view that Nigerian authorities need to live up to their pledge of protecting the people and double up efforts to provide a safe learning environment for students in the country. Jessita Fida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
To Zamfara State, where parents of abducted students of the College of Health Sciences and Technology, SAFE, have disclosed that their kidnappers are demanding a huge ransom before they are released. According to the parents, the abductors say the students were not their initial target, but indigents of SAFE local government. Theophilus Darafai reports.
The abduction of 5 students of the College of Health Sciences and Technology, SAFE in Zamfara State, has thrown other students, lecturers and their parents into confusion. One of the abducted students was released after a 2-hour trek on foot in the bush. The released student is currently receiving medical attention at the General Hospital, SAFE. The school authorities say the kidnappers called and are demanding a huge amount of money as ransom, following which they will take one of the victims as wife.
When they talk to one mother that they should give money, she said no money, that this girl is moreover is Fulani like you, her father is Fulani, so please release her. They said there's no problem, but one of them want to marry her, that he want to marry her.
Fatima Jafar, a 19-year-old, is the released victim. She says the bandits told her the students were not their initial targets, but indigents of the local government who, according to them, have been killing their partners in crime. Another 23-year-old student who is a co-tenant in the house where the incident happened and who managed to escape being taken says it took the bandits almost 40 minutes to gain access into the house.
They told us that we are not their target, but indigents of SAFE. But since they have taken us, we have to go. They released me because I was not putting on shoes and could not walk anymore. In fact, I was beaten.
They now find 2 students in the first room, and in the second room, they now find 3 students. They now take them and go away with them. But me and my other colleague, we are in the other room, and they do not see us, and they don't even open our room. The first girl that he asked, where is her husband? She now say that we are students. After that, then they now say, okay, let them give them money. They now say they don't have money. Then they say, okay, let them stand up and take their hijabs and follow them.
5 female students of the College of Health Sciences and Technology, SAFE, were kidnapped in Area 1, a community near the college early hours of Wednesday. The incident is coming at a time insecurity in northern Nigeria is at an all-time high, and some elders in the region are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari to resign. Theophilus Darufai, TVC News, SAFE.
Operatives of Amotekun Corps in Ondo State have arrested 2 underage armed robbers who named themselves after 2 Nigerian notorious robbers, Oyenusi and Anini. The suspects were part of 19 suspected criminals paraded by Amotekun commander Adetunja Adeleye in Akure. Well, this is coming after workers in the state donated 30 motorcycles to the state command of Amotekun to aid the operations. Ayodeji Moradeyo reports.
These 19 suspects were arrested by operatives of Amotekun Corps at different locations in Ondo State. They were arrested for offenses such as kidnapping, armed robbery, aiding and abetting, among others. Two of the suspects, whose names are Anini and Oyenusi, were arrested for armed robbery. The young robbers were arrested along with their mothers, who always fortified them with charms before going out for robbery operations.
We were able to apprehend a good number of criminals. Some of them we could not parade because we had not concluded investigations. We have a second-time juvenile armed robber here who named himself Oyenusi.
In a related development, workers in the state under Joint Negotiations Council presented 30 motorcycles to the state command of Amotekun. The workers said the motorcycles were presented to the command to aid their operations.
They have decided to do this. So it is unprecedented. It is not only appreciated by our governor and the state government, I'm sure to be appreciated by all well-meaning people.
Last 2 years since the creation of Amotekun, we have watched with keen interest that the government is not using it for any political coloration. And we have not seen, with due respect, any opposition party who has condemned Amotekun. And Amotekun is not created or was not created for a particular set of people.
This bike was bought with money from the salaries of Ondo State. We need to tax one another. And this money, we source the money from somewhere, which will be paid back.
We request the general public at all times to give us quality, timely information. This is what we need for us to work.
The workers believe that security is everybody's business, hence the need to support security agencies to ensure they give adequate protection to the people. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News.
Thanks for staying with us. The Lagos State Police Command has paraded Benjamin Ogudoro, a man who denied the killing of his wife and her brother in Festac area of Lagos. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano reports.
This is the residence of Benjamin Nkemakolam Ogudoro at number 5, Zone 5, Ote Garden Estate, Abuleado. It was here that a fire outbreak happened on the 1st of April 2022. Benjamin's wife, Chinyere, who is based in Scotland, and her brother, Ifeanyi Edoziem, died in the incident. Chinyere burnt to death, while her brother, who was rescued, later died in the hospital. This is the first time the police is parading Mr. Benjamin Ogudoro, the suspect believed to be responsible for the fire outbreak.
He claimed there was an argument and he set the wife ablaze.
Assuming my phone is here, I will open my listing. About 1 week before she came back, I even sent her 300,000 to pay for the accommodation.
50-year-old Benjamin says he had no reason for killing his wife and her brother.
That case is a case of fire incidents, okay? After I welcomed her very well, went to her room, okay, we stayed. After some time, she had a phone call and she said, baby, I said, yes. He said, please, this phone call, I need to take it where Ifeanyi is. It concerns us. I said, okay, no problem. So she headed to the guest room. I was in the parlor, okay, with my phone. I was chatting with my phone. So I suddenly saw a light from the balcony, okay? I saw that there was light, so the door was closed. I just opened the door. When I opened the door, the light, that's the fire, came. And I shouted, Ifeanyi.
According to him, the plan to sell their house was an agreement between him and his wife.
I did not make any effort to sell a property without her consent, okay? The time we wanted to sell that property was last year, okay? Our paper expired, and we needed to renew our 2 years visa for all the families.
But what was the relationship with late Ifeanyi Edoziem, his wife's younger brother, who also died from burns sustained from the fire.
He has stayed with me for more than 5 years, okay? So I've also been instrumental to his development, okay? He only left my house when he got married, okay?
Chinyere, who lives in Scotland, was picked up from the airport and taken to their residence by her younger brother, where they were consumed by the mystery fire. Meanwhile, the accountant, the police say, would have his day in court. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
On to election matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Thursday suspended the continuous voter registration exercise in Ihite-Oboma local government area of Imo State. In a statement signed by INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye, the decision was taken after an INEC staff was shot dead by gunmen. 2 other staff involved in the registration exercise at the polling unit are also missing. The commission extends its condolences to the family of Nwokori Anthony and prays that God will grant them the fortitude to bear the loss. The incident has been reported to security agencies to unravel the circumstances that led to this unfortunate incident and bring the culprits to justice. Some prominent Nigerians have unveiled the registration portal of the 40 million ballot movement. The movement, which is an emerging political force of 40 million voters, sets its eyes on evolving into the long-awaited third force that will wrestle power from the PDP and APC in 2023. Correspondent Ademola Lawrence reports.
In about 400 days, the seat of power in Abuja will be occupied by a new leader elected by Nigerians. With more Nigerians getting more politically aware, this movement called 40 million ballots want Nigerians to come out en masse to reduce political apathy. In their speech, political economist Pat Utomi said people should not leave voting of leaders for the poor and uneducated who are easily bought with money.
When you stay in your room reading newspaper or tweeting on election day, if you people that they pick up from around the place, who they can give a few 100 naira or 1,000 naira and rice and whatever it is they give them, will go and vote for them. Very few.
Other contributors said that the youth constitutes 60% of the nation's population and that it was a wake-up call for their future for the movement's mandates.
We need to do something that to take them out of the social media just to be commenting. They should cease to be commentators and become actors. And to this extent, this initiative is a further wake-up call on them to ensure that their future is guaranteed.
They also added Nigeria has vast opportunity despite the challenges, but wonders why the youth don't troop out to vote.
We need to do it right. We need to go out and vote. I have seen youth mobilize themselves. Youth who are ready to die during ENSA program. Why can't then we be ready to at least sacrifice, not our life, just 2, 3, 4 hours to go and vote?
Unveiling the portal, human rights activist Femi Falana said it was not enough to campaign, but to educate the voters on what they ought not to do, adding that most people have not registered for their permanent voters card.
Must take advantage of technology to mobilize our people, to register, to vote, and take back their country. And please, you are not just voting, no. Please, you must vote around issues.
You see the way people are pursuing tickets of the APC and PDP as if once you have clinched that ticket, automatically you are the next president. But they have failed to realize that it's only the votes of the people, and by the votes of the people, they can be elected.
As the 2023 general elections draw closer, Nigerians have been advised to go get their PVCs in order for them to choose the candidate of their choice in the election. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Lagos.
Over 30 government officials have resigned their appointments in Taraba State to vie for elected positions in the 2023 elections. Among them is Commissioner for Youth and Sport, Ibrahim Imam, who was presented nomination and expression of interest forms by 10,000 youths from Jalingo, Yoro, and Zing Federal Constituency. Correspondent Owolabi Adenusi filed in this report.
The role of the 2023 election timetable, as set by the Independent National Electoral Commission, has set the ball rolling for many politicians to indicate their desire to run for the political office at federal and state level. While some have since purchased their nomination forms, others have produced posters portraying their aspiration. Some have gone as far as kickstarting public and secret consultation with stakeholders ahead of the campaigns. As a result, Taraba State Governor Darius Ishaku had recently issued a directive to his appointees intending to contest to resign. Over 30 officials have shown interest in contesting, including the Commissioner for Youth and Sport. He was persuaded to enter the race by PDP Youth Wing, who purchased for him nomination form. The youth say they will work round the clock to ensure the Not Too Young to Run bill passed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari plays a significant role in 2023 general election. This is why they bought the nomination form for House of Representatives for Ibrahim Adam Imam.
Want on behalf of the 10,000 youths present the form of intention and nomination to Honorable Ibrahim Adam Imam.
We are supporting Honorable Imam simply because of his track record.
The elated commissioner thanked them for the gesture, promising to do his best if eventually fielded by the PDP.
Resign my appointment, which, the announcement was made by His Excellency, the rescue captain. The people have confidence in me. That is why today they have purchased the form, presented to me under the leadership of Taraba State Youth Council.
Jalingo, Yero, Zinc, Federal Constituency has been an all-progressive Congress stronghold, having produced the House of Representative members since the inception of this democracy. The PDP Youth Wing believes the emergence of Ibrahim Imam Adam will change the narrative, since he is from Jalingo, which has the highest voting population in the state constituency.
Well, that's it on Nigeria Today. Thank you very much for staying with us. Join us on TVC News at 10 for more. Good evening.